Hi everyone. The Cask of Amontillado is a short story written by Edgar Allan Poe, and Amontillado is a kind of wine. This story by master of horror Edgar Allan Poe is about a man seeking revenge against someone who has offended him. The main characters the main character lures his friend into a cellar by claiming to have something there that the man wants, but instead of a pleasant surprise, a deadly trap awaits. The summary: the narrator begins by telling us that Fortunato has hurt him. Even worse, Fortunato has insulted him. The narrator must get revenge. He meets Fortunato, who is all dressed up in jester clothes for a carnival celebration, and is already very drunk. The narrator mentions he has found a barrel of rare brandy called amotillado. Fortunato expresses eager interest in verifying the wine's authenticity. So, he and the narrator go to the underground graveyard or catacomb of the Montresor family. Apparently, that's where the narrator keeps his wine. The narrator leads Fortunato deeper and deeper into the catacomb, getting him drunker and drunker along the way. Fortunato keeps coughing, and the narrator constantly suggests that Fortunato is too sick to be down among the damn crypt and should go back. Fortunato just keeps talking about the Amontillado. Eventually, Fortunato walks into a man-sized hole that's part of the wall of a really nasty crypt. The narrator chains Fortunato to the wall, then begins to close Fortunato in the wall by filling in the opening with bricks. When he has one brick left, he psychologically tortures Fortunato until he begs for mercy. And we finally learn the narrator's name. Fortunato calls him Montresor. After Fortunato cries out Montresor's name, he doesn't have any more lines. But just before Montresor puts the last brick, Fortunato jingles his bells. Then Montresor finishes the job and leaves him there to die. At the very end, Montresor tells us that the whole affair happened 50 years ago and nobody has found out. One of the themes that we have in this story is theme of drugs and alcohol. The only literal drug we see in the cask of Amontillado is wine, but there are many other drugs circulating between the lines. Drugs in this story can be anything the characters want badly enough to do awful or foolish things for. The story's author, Edgar Allan Poe, struggles with drugs and alcohol. His struggle is carefully woven into this complicated narrative, which can be read as a gruesome allegory for addiction. Another theme could be freedom and confinement. The contrast between freedom and confinement is extreme in the cask of Amontillado. For one character to be free, another must die. Another theme could be theme of betrayal. Betrayal drives the action in the cask of Amontillado. One character's betrayal sets off a hideous chain of retribution enacted below ground in a massive grave. Then we move to the characters. The characters that we have in this story are Montresor, Fortunato, Lucrezi, and the Montresor's family. The setting: an underground catacomb somewhere in Italy during the carnival season. The setting in the cask of Amontillado and in most horror or gothic fiction has a special purpose: to suggest freedom or confinement in harmony or opposition to the freedom or confinement of the characters. This is called the Gothic interior. Most people go back and forth between feeling free and feeling trapped. The Gothic interior is meant to make us hyper aware of these emotions through careful attention to the setting. Now let's go through the targeted words of this text, and the first word that we have is utterance. Utterance is a statement said out loud. For example, the speaker has great power of utterance. A synonym for utterance could be saying, an antonym could be silence. The following word is precluded. Precluded means prevented or made impossible. For example, the bad weather precluded me from attending the meeting. Synonym for this could be the definition itself, prevented. An antonym could be allow. Then, retribution. Retribution means punishment for wrongdoing. For example, his armies invaded their lands in retribution. And a synonym for this could be punishment, and the antonym could be forgiveness. Virtuoso. Virtuoso means masterful in particular field. For example, he was gaining a reputation as a remarkable virtuoso. And a synonym for this could be genius, and the antonym could be amateur. Afflicted. Afflicted means distressed or troubled. For example, feminine wars still afflict mankind. And synonym for this could be annoy, and antonym could be please. Gait. Gait is the way someone walks. For example, he walks with a slow, stiff gait, and the antonym for this word could be stand still, and the synonym could be motion. Rampant. Rampant means widespread and hard to control. For example, cholera was rampant in the district. A synonym for this word could be excessive or spreading, and the antonym could be controlled. Recoiling. Recoiling means moving back quickly. For example, rather than only recoiling, I began to struggle actively against them. The synonym could be backfire or shudder, and the antonym could be steady or face. Niche. Niche is a small gap or a hole in the wall, and a synonym for this could be alcove or hollow, and antonym could be closure. For example, there was a niche in the rock where the path ended. By then we have reached the end of the video, hoping it has been helpful to you.